All righty, welcome to What's Good with John and Joyce. You know what's good? You're hanging out with us, and we appreciate that. And I love that color on you, Joyce.
Hey,
that is
you.
your color.
Wow.
Love it.
Someone told me that once before that I should wear pink, but I can't wear pink every day.
No. Well, you could if you wanted to.
I do love pink.
That's right, yeah.
You know what we're going to talk about today?
What are we talking
We got to talk about this because people are driving me crazy.
Oh, crazy.
Yes. What does John do? What does John do to look so good? What does John do in the gym? How does John do this? So it's like, John, tell us, what the heck do you do
Well,
to
what
look
do you
so
do
great?
to look like that?
No.
Come on, come on.
We're going to talk about you.
Tell me what's good. Tell me what's nice. Keeping it cool, keeping it calm, keeping it light. Time to rejoice. What's good? What's good? What's good with John and Joyce?
I'd like to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors. Woodwinds Wedding and Special Events Venue and Silvio Sauces, thewoodwinds.com. Ascend Bank. They don't just see your accounts, they see your vision and ambitions. Ascend.bank. Linda Toscano of Caldwell Banker Realty in Guilford, Connecticut. With over 17 years of experience, Linda is known for her authentic, client-focused approach and expert guidance for buyers and sellers. Now, if you're thinking about making a move, Linda Toscano is someone you can trust. We're deeply grateful to all of our sponsors for their support and for partnering with us to uplift and enrich the lives of our listeners and viewers.
Because I have a lot of guys that I know, even in my own family, that, is like 20, 30 years younger than you. And they just feel like I can never look that way. I've got a big belly. I've never been able to lose my belly. What can I do to look like John, who looks so great? No, truly. So let's do this show about what you do, because then I can send them to this episode.
Well, the thing is, when people say I can never do it, first of all, if they say I can, they're right. If they say I can't, they're right. Either way, we are what we think. And some people will say, well, I'm not genetically blessed with this. I've got this, I've got that. You could do something. You don't have to go out there and be, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't have to go out there and be, whomever, but just do the best you can with what you have and focus on that each and every day. Comparison is the thief of joy. Just go out there and be the best you can be, but everything starts in the kitchen. Nutrition is like 75-80% of what you look like.
Yes,
that is key.
I heard that.
It starts in the kitchen.
So that's true.
It really is.
Like 80% of what you look like is what you eat.
I would say so. I mean, obviously, what you were born with, comes from our maker. But what you can do with it all starts with the kitchen. What do you eat? When do you eat? How do you sequence it? What is the mix of, carbohydrates and protein? Getting to the gym. Getting to the gym is like 10% of it, maybe 10, 15%. And then obviously sleep. We talked about that in a previous episode. Sleep is so important. I'm too busy. No, sleep is important. You've got to make that a priority.
Okay, so the people that are asking this, they're saying, how do I get that body? But they have to take those steps first,
right.
Consistently.
Consistent. Right. I think the most important thing is just being consistent each and every day. Every day you get to the gym, and if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. If you splurge and eat something you shouldn't eat, don't beat yourself up. That's human nature. So many people will try something, and they'll beat themselves up. They'll fail, so to speak. But there is no failure. Each and every day you learn from that. If you're going to fall forward. It's one of my favorite terms. I learned that from a mentor of mine years ago.
Forward.
But just do the best you can each and every day. And when you walk into the gym or if you work out at home, just do your research. Find somebody you respect. Talk to a nutritionist if you're able to. See that person that you admire and ask them what they do.
Right.
Surround yourself with people who are in a position that you want to be in or you want to look like or whatever.
Okay, so you're that person that people admire. So what are you going to tell them? Let's say it's a guy who's 45, 50 years old. He's got a big gut on him. He feels like he eats okay. He's not heavy all over. He just kind of carries it in his belly. And he wants to know, how do I get rid of this? Like, what am I doing wrong?
I would have him document what he's doing. When I was a head trainer at a gym, for 2 or 3 years, I had a lot of, I had like 40 or 50 clients, all different backgrounds, male, female, 80, 18 years old, and I would just say, hey, listen, what do you want to accomplish? What's your goal? So the 18-year-old was a football player. He was a lineman, so he needed really good leg strength. So we do a lot of squatting, thrusting exercises. Then I worked with a guy who was, 60, 65. He was a golfer. So we did a lot of core exercise, swing exercise. I geared it toward him. And then I had a woman who was a marathon runner, and I would gear workouts toward what she wanted. So it's by listening to what that person wants and coming up with a program that's going to fit for them. So if this person says, I'm heavy, I need this, tell me what you're eating. Well, I eat pretty good. Well, obviously, I eat pretty healthy. Well, I eat salads all the time. Well, what are you putting on the salad? Tons of ranch dressing? Whatever it may be. So there's a lot of hidden calories, or people are on their computer a lot doing work, and they're just, munching out. They're grabbing a whole bunch of peanuts. Right. And all of a sudden those peanuts are almonds, which are not bad for you, but if you have 3 bags of them,
thousands of calories.
Exactly. Calories in, calories out type thing. Right. But so the whole thing is I'll listen to them and I'll say, do a little investigating. What are you eating? How often are you exercising? How's your stress level? How's everything at home? How's everything on the job? Because you could be eating right, but if your stress level is high, it's going to manifest on the body and it's going to affect everything.
So you would say keep that journal of what you're eating.
Journal everything, because I journal everything I eat.
You do?
Everything I eat every day.
I didn't
journal
know that.
From the morning right till the end of the night. I've done it for years. And
so do you find that you're eating pretty much the same thing?
Pretty much. But I do vary it up because, things can get boring. You want to keep it interesting.
Right.
I mean, technically, I really could eat the same thing every day and be happy with it.
Yeah.
But I'm married to the Iron Chef. And my
Patty.
wife likes the variety. But she's really good at respecting, what I like to eat.
Right.
And I'll say, babe, you can eat whatever you want. When I was competing, I was real strict. Nothing but fish, chicken, broccoli, every single day. And that was it. But, man, I was shredded. I felt good about it. But I've opened it up a little bit more now because I'm not competing per se.
Right. And most people aren't competing, but
99% of the population.
They can eat close to that. Like I know my mom's favorite expression growing up was, to eat healthy all week long, but on Sunday, just splurge.
It's not a bad idea because I do a lot of intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And I'll fast for like 18 to 20 hours a day, and I'll usually eat within a 4-hour window. So I haven't eaten yet today at press time here with the podcast, but I'll eat tonight between 5 and 6, 5 and 7.
That's a good time.
And I'll have a really good meal, but I'm not counting calories. I never have.
Right.
I just eat until I'm full.
Important. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And then I might have, for dessert, I might have some plain yogurt, with some fruit, or I might throw some really good organic protein powder on there. Mm-hmm. I'll use some vegan protein powder once in a while, and it's just a good mix.
Yeah.
I have peanut butter. I get organic peanut butter. I try to keep it to a minimum because it's very calorie dense. Because I can eat a whole jar of peanut butter.
I love eating peanut butter out of the jar.
Oh, my
it's the only way I like it.
Peanut butter on top of banana. I know you and I both like that.
That's
That's awesome. But the whole thing is just being wary of what you're eating.
Mm-hmm. And then if they can't get to a gym, a home gym, even like one machine. If you had to pick out one machine for them to have.
You don't even need a machine per se, but
That's
just do
true.
a lot of body exercises.
So I like my elliptical.
Yeah, the elliptical
My
is
elliptical
great.
feels like I'm working everything.
Yeah, we have a rowing machine at home, which is a great full body workout. But, push-ups, and if you have a hard time doing push-ups, just get down on your knees and do upper body push-ups. Just swing your body, move in your house. Dance like nobody's watching.
Dancing.
Get some great music on it. Just dance and bop away. Move the body. Do some Tai Chi, which is really healing for the body. Videos are all over Facebook and Instagram about how to do Tai Chi or yoga, Pilates movements. But the whole key is just move. Get out and walk. Walking is so important, especially after you eat, if you get a chance. Get out there and walk.
That's why I like to exercise after I eat at night. I'm
you like to work out at night.
I'm a night person.
Yeah, I'm a morning workout guy.
Yeah. My life doesn't lend itself to that, but I'm used to always doing it at
That's
night.
the whole point. There's no perfect time.
Right.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, no, it works fine. But if someone comes to you, I'm going to go back to the big belly again, whether it's a man or a woman, and they're only doing crunches because they're trying to get rid of the belly. I thought I read that it might like pouch it out more, like if you're building muscle but not getting rid of the fat.
Well, what's going to happen? I see people doing that all the time, the crunches, and that's not going to get rid of the belly. Nutrition is.
So it goes back to
everything
the food.
goes back to nutrition. You've got to be careful what you're doing, because if you're consuming less calories, all of a sudden, eventually, everything is going to trim out. And somebody, I just want to lose the weight here in the stomach, but not other parts of my body. No, you're going to lose it everywhere.
Right.
You can't segment what part of your body you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose it everywhere. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, But don't be so overly concerned about it. Be more concerned about the quality of the food you're putting in your body, and don't be so concerned with the scale. Don't weigh yourself so much where it destroys your day.
Yes.
Because muscle weighs more than fat.
Yes. There are some people I know that weigh themselves a couple of times a day.
I know. They're obsessive.
No. I said, don't do that.
It destroys their whole day. I mean, they wake up in the
does.
morning feeling really good. Oh, I'm like a pound heavier. Oh, life sucks.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
No.
No, don't do that.
But I think once a week at the same time with the same clothing.
Right.
And just to keep you on track.
Have that consistent scale.
Yes.
Always weigh yourself on that same scale, like you said, same time, maybe once a week, just to monitor it, make sure you're okay. But we have all different things that are going inside of our body.
Right.
But essentially, go by how your clothes feel.
Yes.
That's a good barometer.
I'm always quoting my mother. My mother used to say, clothes don't lie.
Right. Just go by your clothes. Because I've had times where I feel like, it's a little bit tight down there. Okay, I got to, modify some things. Then I've had some times where it was like a little bit loose down there and I had more weight. I weighed like 2 or 3 pounds extra.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do, did you eat at a restaurant the night before?
Yeah.
Was there extra sodium in there? Because I don't care how healthy you eat, if you go to a restaurant, they're throwing some extra stuff in there. Whether they're cooking with seed oils or too much margarine.
Yeah, when it tastes really good.
I know.
I was just remembering when I wasn't weighing myself. It was not a good time in my life. And I was doing happy hour with everyone at work.
Happy hour.
So drinking the wine, eating the crackers and cheeses.
And, that will add up calories, the crackers and cheese. Ooh.
And not paying attention at all to my weight and actually thinking to myself like, oh, I must have washed these pants like in hot water because they feel tight. I mean, I did every trick in the book in my mind not to like weigh myself or look at that. And then one day I went to the doctors and the CNA who weighed me, she said, wow, Joyce, and that was only a year ago you were here. And I said, don't tell me. And I knew then that I had gained a lot of weight. And that's when I made up my mind, that, all right, this is going to stop. It's going to stop now. And I know people may have heard me say this before, but in that one night, I gave up smoking and drinking, and I changed my diet.
Cold turkey.
And I stopped and I bought myself a little portable bike.
Wow.
And I could only do 5 minutes on that bike because my lungs were not in good shape. I was smoking. I had asthma. And I couldn't believe that I couldn't get beyond 5 minutes. But I did it every single day, John.
Consistency.
Every single day. And
you made a decision.
I made a decision when other people came over and they were drinking wine. I was serving wine. They didn't know I had water in my glass with a nice piece of lemon. But I used self-hypnosis on myself. I knew how to do that. Potato chips were my downfall.
Sure.
So I just convinced myself why they were so bad for me. And they didn't taste good.
Right.
And they really taste good to me now. But it is the consistency. It was that mindset. And it wasn't to get the weight off fast because people didn't even notice how much weight I lost. When you see people every day and then one day you look at them and say, wow, you lost a lot of weight. So I lost 40 pounds, but probably like in a year.
Wow.
And that was it.
Yeah.
I never went back because you know what? I don't ever want to do that again.
No.
I like weighing myself once a week just to see, am I getting too low?
Right.
Am I getting too high? Because if you get to a point where you have to lose that 20, 25 pounds, a lot easier if you gain 3 pounds and you know, I got to pull back a little bit.
It's a lot easier. I always say to people, it's a lot easier to stay in shape than get in shape.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do that.
Why is that? It's just so easy to gain weight.
It is, but you really have to monitor. You can still live your life. You can still have fun.
I can't imagine eating the way that I used to eat.
Oh,
I feel
no.
so much better.
All the way I used to eat when I was a kid in high school and college, but again, it was a whole different time.
Yeah.
Metabolism was different, but I like the way I feel when I get up each and every day, and your body
Yes.
loves you more when you're putting good fuel in it. I mean, why are you going to put bad gas in a beautiful car? You have a really good car. You're not going to put bad
Because
gas
eventually
in there.
it's going to give out. You keep
Right.
doing that.
So this
Yes.
is a machine. This is a
Yeah.
gift that we've been given. Let's take the best care of it we can, and don't give in the social pressure. That's one thing I've never done. Oh, John, why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you eating? I'm good. I'm good. I never really cared what people thought about that because I'm taking care of myself.
And what I found out is that people don't really notice. If you make light of it, if you just say, I don't feel like having that right now, they don't notice.
And
No-
that's a good
yeah.
point. When we get together with other couples, Patty and I, they know right away, well, what does John eat? Because they know how strict I am. Well, I'm really good. Don't worry so much about me. But, just give me, instead, when you're making the chicken, just give me, chicken breast. Just give me some, grilled fish or whatever it may be, or some,
Right.
some steak or whatever. But, don't overly be concerned about me. But they know, they respect the fact that I really am very careful about what I eat, how I take care of myself.
Right. Yeah. I always think people think if they invite me over and I'm vegetarian, and it's always amazing that they'll say, "What do you eat at Thanksgiving?" And it's like, are you kidding? That's a feast for me. All
Right.
the side dishes, the turnips and green
Joyce
beans
was
and
having
mashed
stuffed kale.
potatoes. That would be good.
Right.
I love kale with quinoa.
I love
It is-
quinoa. Oh, my
God,
goodness. I
so
love
with a
quinoa.
little bit of olive oil and
Yes.
balsamic vinegar.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I just chop up my veggie burger that I
Yeah.
love so much, the brand I buy, and chop that up for the protein.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting hungry now. So
Me
the
too.
key is food.
Food is so important. Food is so important. And my wife cooks this way. The kids are going to eat this thing. That's an excuse. You can still eat whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
And you can say, hey, the kids can eat, what they want, and your spouse or whomever can eat, but you have to have enough self-respect to eat the way you want. You want your spouse and your kids to be healthy, but you can't make them do things.
Right.
But you can control you.
You know what I love doing? Like talking about like eating with a family or just going out to eat. I'll eat before because
Smart. It's like do that before you go shopping too.
yeah.
Eat before.
But there's another reason why I do that. People like to talk when they eat, and I tend to choke. No, really, because if I'm laughing, I've had that happen.
Right.
And so I thought, I read a lot about that also, that we weren't meant to be laughing and talking when we're eating. We're not. We're meant to chew our food, relax our esophagus, and just, digest our food. So I remember in Bali, they take their food and they just go sit in a quiet place. They don't talk. That's not the time to talk. So I realize we here don't abide by that rule, but I do in my own way. So I can talk to everybody because
Right.
I'm not eating.
Yeah.
And I could laugh and I could ask them questions.
Right. And that is good, especially if you're going somewhere, it's a big party. It's nice to be able to eat so you're not going there famished.
Yeah.
And then you're grabbing everything. You're grabbing
Right.
all the hors d'oeuvres.
Right.
And then you have a meal to still go through.
Yeah.
The whole key is go there semi-full so you can really
Right.
enjoy the day and not have to
Enjoy it.
ravage through
Yeah.
all that food.
And maybe you even enjoy like their dessert. You
Right.
know, you eat like some protein at home and then you have dessert. But so many times people will say, Joyce never eats. But obviously I'm alive. I
Right.
do eat, but I may not eat in front of you for that reason. Which may seem like an odd reason to people, but to me it's
It
like
works
it makes
for
sense.
you. It works for you.
Yeah, it does. So that's my advice. But I want to hear about your journal. So every day you write down what you ate at the end of the day?
I do it as I do it. So I
As
have a
you do
journal
it.
there at the counter in the kitchen. I write down what I've had. But since I only eat basically once a day with the fasting,
Right.
it's pretty simple. So I'll just get up in the morning. I'll say a large glass of water, spring water with some Celtic salt, maybe a little apple cider vinegar, and then black coffee throughout the day or tea, you know, and then I might have a little cinnamon because there's no calories in that, so it's not going to spike my insulin level.
Right.
But it's so important. Fasting is so important, I think. And again, whatever we're saying here, you consult your doctor or your practitioner first. This is what works for Joyce and I. But fasting for me, it allows the body, instead of constantly trying to overwork the digestive system, give it a break.
Right.
And what happens is your body can start cleaning up all the toxins in it. It's like a vacuum cleaner.
Right. Right.
Put it in your body. So the less often you eat, the more the body has a chance to repair itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing. The longer I go without eating, many cases, the more energy I have, the more clarity I have,
Right.
the more energy I have, and I have better workouts.
Yeah.
And if I know I have a project to work on, I have a lot more, clarity in a fasted state than if I've eaten.
Yeah.
So important,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I find that also. And to listen to your body.
Listen to your body.
Yeah. Because
That's too
sometimes people eat.
People eat because they're
Beyond.
bored a lot of times. Many times you're just thirsty.
You're
But
thirsty.
most people
Yes.
lose
Yes.
it at night,
Yes.
and they just keep eating and eating and just feel, I worked really hard today. I owe it to myself. They're in front of the TV set. I was one of those people. But I just find out if I just pause and go grab something, a large glass of water or seltzer water, which I love. I drink a lot of seltzer water plain throughout the day, and it's filling for me. And so the minute I have it, it takes away my appetite. Or I'll take some Celtic salt. I have it in the car with me. If I'm hungry or feel like I'm losing some energy, I'll take the salt, put it on my tongue, let it dissolve, and bam, I got energy. I'm good for a few more hours.
You know what? When I went through, the bronchitis and everything, the one thing my body was craving was salt.
Right.
So
When people say, "Oh, you shouldn't have enough salt," no, salt is good. Not the table salt,
No.
not the salt you get at the restaurant.
Right.
Celtic or pink Himalayan
Right,
salt.
yeah. Like
Stuff
pink-
is
pink
magic.
Himalayan.
You need the electrolytes.
I'll never forget watching an Oprah show many years ago, and the whole show was about women and weight loss, and they're talking about the different diets and everything. And this one man in the audience raises his hand, and he was from India, and tall, thin, and he said, "I don't understand." He said, "If you feel hungry, but you ate, drink water."
Right.
I'll never
That's sage
forget him
advice.
saying that. It's like, of course, your body sometimes sends out a message that you're hungry when you're really thirsty.
When my body's growling, my stomach's growling at times, I know that it's working. It's working at cleaning up a lot of the debris that's in there. It's just so important. They call it ketosis or autophagy. It's just so important. So just, check it out, and see if that might be an option for you. But again, there's no right or wrong way. Some people are carnivores with their eating. Some people are vegans. We talked about in the
Right.
previous
Yeah.
episode. Whatever works for you.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
I mean, I'm not going to judge anybody else. You do it. You do you.
So I try to think, how many hours do I go? So I usually do not eat after 6.
Smart.
I'm done. I'm done with eating. And then I don't eat the next day till noon or 1 o'clock.
Right. So you're fasting for 12, 18, 19 hours.
So is that
That's
is that
good.
it? And
Yeah.
then I have a protein bar usually with a handful of walnuts
Right.
or something like that with a cup of tea.
Right. I'll break my fast after a long fast. I mean, sometimes once a week I'll do a 24-hour fast, and maybe once a month a 48-hour, and then once every month and a half, 2 months I do a 72-hour fast.
Yeah.
And with the 72-hour fast, it's like almost building a brand new immune system. It's
It does
just
feel good.
insane. It's great, and I don't want to eat sometimes after that. I want to keep going.
I know.
But I figure 72 hours is good.
Yeah.
But I'm not hungry. It's not affecting my performance with my job or anything else. If anything, I'm excelling at a whole new level.
Right.
It's counterintuitive, but it works.
Right. Yeah. I'm laughing because I've heard people say to me, What's wrong? You hyped up on coffee or something today? And it's because, no, I was fasting that day.
Hyped up on
Yeah.
life. Life. Really.
Well, that was interesting.
Yes.
All right, so take note of that, which what John said. I like that you journal it because you're looking at it, right? You're looking at what.
And there's something about the power of taking pen or pencil to paper and writing something down. It's like my gratitude journal. I have a journal every single day where I document, what I'm grateful for that day.
So how many every day? Do you do 2 journals a day?
Two journals.
Yeah.
And then I'll put like I am,
Yes.
and I'll just say what
I
God
am,
says
like it
about
could be,
me.
I am healing.
I
am
am healing.
healthy.
I am helping people. I am compassionate.
Yeah.
I'm good to people. I'm appreciated.
Right.
That type of thing. Say those things. If you speak faith over your body will act in kind. Because we are what we consume. Whether it be what we tell ourselves,
100%.
what we eat,
Yes.
who we surround ourselves with.
Right.
So important.
Right. Surround yourself with good people. Sometimes in families it could be tough, but you can have even one good friend that supports you, and that's enough. And to do the journaling, read something inspirational. If they don't fill you up or provide that safe space for you, find a way to create it yourself.
Yes.
In another area.
We have choices.
Yeah.
We have choices. You can either be a victim or you can just go out there and create your own life by what you think, and just be good to people. Be good to yourself. Be
good to
grateful.
yourself.
Be
Yes.
grateful. And look for opportunities to bless other people, because when you find those opportunities, it blesses you, and it's great for your overall health. Not just blessing them, but you're blessing you too.
Right. Oh, I learned a lot today about you, Mr.
I learned a lot too.
John.
We got to talk about your routine maybe at some point.
Some point.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I'll bring in my elliptical.
Yeah, I'll bring in my my rowing machine. Let's see if we can fit it in the studio here at Direct Line Media.
Dave, yeah, we need a gym here.
We'd like to thank, Dave here at Direct Line, also Stefania, who's directing us in the
Hey,
back.
Januski.
Robert Graham, our marketing guy. We really appreciate everything he does for us. And of course, all of our sponsors. We're so grateful for, Tony Supa over at Woodwinds. Does a fantastic job. Do a lot of weddings there. I know you've done a lot of events
Love
there.
Tony.
Linda Toscano, the realtor to the stars. Love this woman. She does so many great things in the community as well.
She's
And of course, Amy and the folks over at Ascend Bank.
Amy.
Hey,
Yes.
Amy. We appreciate all of our sponsors. And most of all, we appreciate you. What's Good with John Joyce, available everywhere you find your favorite podcast. Till next time, take good care of yourself, and
Yes. Please do.
you owe it to yourself and all those around you.
No one's more important than you.
Absolutely.
We love you.
Love
Bye
you.
for now.
Bye. Be blessed.
Hey, I heard you got engaged. Congratulations. Now it's time to book the DJ. And that's where we come in. I'm John Cadillac Seville with John Seville Entertainment, Wedding Wire, and the Knot 2026 Couples Choice Awards winner. You can call me directly if you like at 203-988-0658. We'll set up your free consultation. Or go to johncaddyman.com. That's 203-988-0658 or johncaddyman.com. We offer excellence, peace of mind, and a great time for all. John Seville Entertainment, a name you know and can trust.